What's up, y'all? Night Edge here again. Got another little quick review for you. This is the TRM Atom, and this is courtesy of TRM. They actually sent me this, so full disclosure on that. Whenever you're watching the review, they did send me the knife, but I'm not keeping it. I got them to send it to me so I could kind of give it to Mr. Eddie, because he has definitely provided me with a ton of different knives to make content with, and all kinds of cool stuff. And I figured that this would be a pretty cool way to repay him. These are not exactly the easiest knives to get. So they are sold out quite a good bit. Three Rivers Manufacturing, I wrote to them. Email Hillary's always been very helpful over there. And, I asked her, I just said, hey, look, I got a buddy. He's a military veteran. He, got a Purple Heart in Afghanistan from, taking some shrapnel to the leg, and he's still in the military, and he has helped the channel out a vast amount, with letting me borrow a lot of his really cool knives to do content on. Is there any way you could send me something to help, kind of like repay him, And I thought it was pretty cool. They sent me this, so I was very, very happy to be able to share this with you guys. Again, I'm not keeping this one. This one's going to Mr. Eddie after I'm done with it. Yeah, and hey, I thought it was really cool they were willing to send it along. TRM has always been an excellent company, y'all. Like, they have answered every question I've had. They have wrote back, and they've been pretty wide open, pretty honest, great, all American made company. So definitely check them out. They're going to be linked down in the bottom in the description. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way and say that. So this is the TRM Atom. This is like kind of like the bigger brother to the Neutron. We'll go over that here in just a minute. Size comparisons. Go ahead and get the specs out of the way. So if you're measuring this one from the tip of the blade and you go all the way to the end of the handle, you're looking right at right a little over 8 1/8. I'd say right just shy of 8 1/4 inches. Yeah, just shy of 8 1/4. Blade length, looking at, if you go all the way back to where the choil meets up with the handle, you're looking right at 3 5/8 there. And cutting edge on this one is, I get it right, just over 3 3/8 on the cutting edge. So let me double check that. Yeah, right at 3 3/8 on that cutting edge. Thanks to that pretty generous forward choil there. So that's pretty cool. Like a bigger version of the Neutron, essentially. We're going to go ahead and get the calibers out. Do blade stock thickness. Thickest part of the spine, you're looking at, right there, you're looking at 86 thousandths. That's pretty thin, from my experience with knives anyway. The ones that I have experienced measuring, that is pretty thin, 86 thousandths for the thickest part of the spine. And going behind the edge, you're looking at right at just a hair over about 18.5 thousandths, 18 thousandths. So it goes down to a pretty decently thin edge, pretty thin, slicey, flat grind on that. Go ahead and do the handle. 0.4 of an inch for the handle, so not too thick, not too thin, pretty much the same as most knives actually, with that handle thickness. But that just gives you a good idea of what you're, kind of going to be gripping there with the handle thickness. That's kind of why I do that. So we'll go ahead and get out some size comparison knives. Got the Ontario Rat Model 1, Ontario Rat Model 2. All right, so as you can see, closer to the size of the Rat Model 2. Get out the 8010. Nowhere near the bulkiness or broadness of the 8010, but comparable with overall length for sure with the 8010. And let's see, I'm kind of curious here. Yeah, so right at the same cut, maybe just a hair less cutting edge on the Atom than the 8010. But without a lot of the bulk and broadness of it. 8010 by a lot of people would be considered kind of like an overbuilt knife. So get out the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and Spyderco Para 3. Size comparisons on that. You can see it's closer along the lines of the size of the Paramilitary 2. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep this one out here. Keep this one out here for just a second. I don't know if I can put it right there or not. I'll show y'all what I'm doing here in a minute. You'll probably think I'm crazy, but if you look at the cutting edge, definitely a little bit more cutting edge than the Paramilitary 2. Overall blade length just a hair more also than the Paramilitary 2. On this one, you're getting just a touch more handle than the Paramilitary 2, but very comparable. Now, here's the reason I kept that one out. So if you look, all right, look at the difference between the Paramilitary 2, the Para 3, and the difference between the Atom and the Neutron. That's the Three Rivers manufacturer Neutron. Pretty similar, right? You know, pretty much the same knife but smaller. You know, that's my point here anyway. But yeah, that same ergonomic lines. You know, the exact same ergonomic lines will cut out for the lot bar right there. Same everything. For all intents and purposes, as far as ergonomics goes, you know, and size and cutting edge go on both knives. You know, Para 3 miniature version of the Paramilitary 2, Atom or Neutron is the miniature version of the Atom. So that's why I got those out. Put those away. All right. So got the size comparisons out the way. Let's go ahead and do weight. So while I also have the Neutron out, I think I'm going to compare it to another category or two. 3.2 ounces, right? So that's under the ounce and inch ratio for that one. 3.2 ounces. Now let's look at the Neutron. 2.6 ounces. Yeah, right at 2.5 ounces. So 2.5 ounces for the Neutron, under the ounce and inch ratio. Double check that. 3.2 ounces on the Atom, and also under that ounce and inch ratio. So that's a good thing on both ends, right? Both very lightweight, very slicey knives for sure. All right, go ahead and do a pocket check here. Let's see. Oh, slide that. There we go. Kind of hard to get in the pocket, but also that's a good thing. I mean, it's not as grabby, right? So essentially, that's what you're looking at. You kind of see just the very end of it, but not really so much, you know. So, you know, fairly deep carry clip. This is a titanium pocket clip, so you know, in and out pretty easy on that. Got to kind of squeeze it in a little bit because that bill doesn't poke up that much, which that is a good thing, you know, because it's not as grabby. It won't grab stuff around you, you know, that you walk close by and end up coming out and stuff like that. Do a hardware check here. It's a T8. I think it's kind of loose though. I'm thinking it might be a T10. I gotta double check that. See if I can find my T10. And yeah, that's a T10. Captive pivot T10. That's excellent. Good deal there for sure. And the rest of the hardware, I'm thinking even the rest of this is a T6, I believe. Yeah, T6. Pocket clip screws, T6. Yeah, T6. All right, so T10 and a captive pivot's good. T6, you know, kind of wish that was a T8. Makes it a lot easier to not strip stuff out when you're taking this thing apart. I don't see any internal milling, which is surprising. There's a little cutout in there, but I think that's for the liner, the lock, and the liner lock. All right, so that can move over, but yeah, that is a liner lock. Good engagement, also that liner lock. Little cutout there, not too much, not too little. So that's good as well. G10 is a little rugged, a little more rugged than the other one, than the G10 on the Neutron. You get an up close look at it, you can kind of see, see how that's kind of more weavy. There's a little more smooth. Overall, I would prefer this a little more, but I mean, this is definitely not bad. I would say the G10 on this is comparable to the G10 on Spyderco's standard black G10. I would say that that's comparable in feel to that, to me anyway. Really great ergonomics on this thing, man. I mean, this thing just disappears in your hand. You're locked in, the choil, I mean, it's not that deep, but you also, you can get right up on your cutting edge right there. No jimping up top, but I mean, it's a pretty thin blade, very smooth and contoured feeling, so I mean, it's not like a sharp edge on either side. So I don't really think any jimping's needed myself. You can grip it like this, thumb here, middle finger here, index up top, and kind of cut like that if you want to do some kind of like some pinch cuts or whatever. Really great action on this thing, running on phosphor bronze washers, so you don't have to worry about debris and stuff getting in there as much. So that's a good thing. I really like the thumb studs on this one. I'd have to say that that the thumb studs, I really like them a lot better than these. All right, these I ordered the O-rings. These are little O-rings that they sell separate. They kind of fit on the thumb studs. All right, but when you take them off, you're looking at that, kind of like a Frankenstein bolts in the neck look, like a little stub sticking out. With the rubber O-rings on there, the Neutron's pretty comfortable. Without them on there, I mean, it's not like a killer or anything like that. It's not a deal killer, but without them on there, it does kind of get rough if you're flipping it open and close a good little bit. So that's something to keep in mind for sure. So on the Atom, on this one anyway, I definitely prefer these type of thumb studs. It's like a receding disc, descending disc shape, right? Kind of cylindrical. Little Three Rivers logo on there. And then on the other side, you're looking at TRM for Three Rivers Manufacturing, USA, and magnacut. Really nice stone wash on that blade. Overall, I would say, other than the fact that, they could use T8 hardware, that is a downside. And looking inside of it, never took this one apart before, but you got those bolsters. It does look like a good little bit of hardware in there. Other than that, though, man, a little bit of nitpicks. I would say everything on this knife I absolutely love. I would say if you prefer, other than the thumb studs, these are pretty much identical. So, if you prefer a larger, or more full size, larger knife as your everyday carry, then you would probably prefer the Atom, and vice versa. If you preferred something a little bit smaller, not small like baby banner small or anything like that, but a little bit smaller, then more what I would call medium size, and the Neutron would be for you, right? But both of them are excellent knives. I'm gonna put this in the USA Made Knives playlist and the most recommended knives playlist for sure. Great knife. And one thing also that I kind of noticed is the little cutout. The cutout on the lot bar, the access to the lot bar, is it's accessible for sure with the Neutron, but with the Atom, it is a little bit more accessible. You got a little bit more room to kind of reach in there and push that lot bar over. So that's another good thing about it. And this being the full size one, I would much rather, if I was picking between the two, I would definitely prefer the Atom over the Neutron, while they're both excellent knives. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Check out Three Rivers Manufacturing. You can subscribe to their newsletter and get emails from them whenever they're going to have products available. That's the best way to do it. Either that or be subscribed to like Blades in Stock, like the Reddit forum, Um, and kind of keep your ear to the ground with any kind of community news and stuff like that. And whenever they are available, you should be able to get one. If you get the money. They're not that expensive. Run a couple $100. I think Adams are around 250, maybe less than that. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I will link it down below. So I don't think they're available right now in either case, but yeah, I'm gonna put Three Rivers website down below. Definitely check them out, guys. They're a great company, and really appreciate them sending this along. And all USA made product, small business, great people. Hillary over there, she is awesome person, great customer service rep, really, really great people, and a great company to boot. So definitely check them out. That's the Three Rivers Manufacturing Adam, and I am the Night's Edge. I appreciate you guys watching. And until next time, keep it sharp.